So we're standing here at 51st and Lincoln. We're in front of the Globeville Laridan School. I'm so passionate about this because of the fact that Laridan stands for Larry and Dawn, who were special needs kids who were discriminated against, and the parents had a lot of trouble trying to get them in school, so they built this place. It's a very tight-knit community. As you can see, they're very involved with our elderly citizens. They have their own center over here. They have vans lined up every day. They have an adult center over here. And what happened should have never happened. I'll say that first and foremost. There's no excuse for it, and it could have been prevented. And it wasn't. This is not about race. This is not about a gang war. This is not about cops not doing their job. This is a way bigger picture than that. This is about Gorman, who is the property owner of this property, not following through and doing their job. So we're walking up to the entrance right now. As you can see, we have a center right across that is for special needs. Oh man. This is the facility where this horrible, tragic incident took place. And I want to know why things have not been done. I want to know why why I've called so many investigators, so many people, trying to get several newscasters, several investigators out here. Because I want to know why this is still here. And when I say this, I mean that when this murder occurred on January 17th, there was a blood trail. And it is completely unacceptable that this footage is still here. That nothing has been done. And I want to know why. So I'm bringing it out to you guys as to why, in the first place, this hasn't been resolved, more so. Why hasn't flooring been put down? Why isn't Gorman doing anything about it? Why do we keep having these meetings and yet nothing is being done? So we're on the 3rd floor. This is where it happened. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have any children watching or if you have anybody around that cannot deal with graphic or horrible incidences, walk away now. So on the 3rd floor, somebody was hurt really bad and bled all the way down the hall. This is what our community has to deal with every day. Our children are upset, lives are forever changed, and yet this is still here almost a month later. The constant memory all the way down the hall. So how do you ever expect anybody to try to move forward and deal with a grieving process if the proof is right there in your face? And it continues. All the way down the hall. Just so you have an idea of how horrible and long this incident was. And yet again, I went to management yesterday and I said, hey, what are you guys going to do about this horrible scene that is still here? There you have it. That's not okay. And I'm uproar about it. It has been 3 weeks. They're not doing nothing about it. They're not putting anything down. And when I asked them yesterday, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? And I got the response of, oh, well, we ordered some flooring like this one, but it won't be here till next week. But to me, that's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Nothing about this is okay. Should have never happened. Could have all been prevented. Excuse me. Could have been prevented. But because of these cameras right here, all over the building, that are fictitious, come to find out, and never worked in the first place, so everybody thought they were safe. They weren't, clearly. And then at the end of the day, when you go to management and you ask, hey, what's being done about this? What can we do to make it better? And after all the meetings and everything done, they're like, oh, just go to management. Tell them. Okay, that's great. Did that. Contacted corporate. Contacted the news. And yet, here we are. This is not about race. This is not about a gang war. This is not because the cops didn't do their job, because they tried. This is about when nobody wants to speak up, and then the cops try to get the evidence on these cameras that do not work. How are they supposed to do their job? How are they supposed to protect and serve if they have no evidence? And if these cameras are not working, which they weren't, and they haven't been the whole time, we did just get new camera systems put in, which is great for the future, but lives are lost now. Children are traumatized. The schools are on shutdown in fear. And that's not okay. My son came into my room last night and did not want to sleep in his own room because he was scared. And he grabbed his baseball bat, the foam one. He's an innocent, amazing child. And he said, Mom, I'm going to protect you. And I asked the office yesterday, I said, well, you're supposed to have security here, but where were they? When are they going to actually be here? And the response was, well, we only have the funding to pay for 2 days, Monday through Thursday. And we don't know when they're going to come because we don't want people to know their schedule. Not acceptable. Oh, but they'll be here Friday to Monday. Oh, that's great. What about all the other times? What about that? What about the people that are constantly living in fear? Nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to speak up. Nobody wants to come out. So I'm taking it into my own hands because this is not okay. And the audacity that management told me yesterday when I asked about it, and she was like, oh, well, everything's starting to get okay. What? Excuse me? Are you kidding me? No. It is not starting to get okay. It's not. We're still here. We're still having to see that horrible aftermath. But it's okay? No. Absolutely not. And I will not stand down. I will be the voice because I'm not okay with this. and to the lives that were lost, the 17 kids, 17 directly affected by this. Their lives will never be the same. Never. And this isn't going away. That's why I'm begging somebody, please do something about this. I got a call from a crisis center that is working with residents here, and they want to say, oh, well, how can we help? Excuse you? Well, what you can do is get a hold of corporate. You can get a hold of Gorman. Somebody out there has the power to get a hold of somebody bigger than I've been able to get a hold of. Somebody out there can make a difference. Somebody can make this blood scene go away quicker than next week. So as children are trying to process, and people are moving, and people are scared, and nobody wants to say anything, we're just supposed to live with that? Absolutely not. So I'm calling out anybody and everybody that will listen. Literally. Chris Parente on Channel 2. Erica Cobb on Channel 9. Jeremy Hubbard on Channel 31. Jim Hooley, Channel 2 and 31. Kyle Clark. Any newscaster that actually will come out and do a investigation on why this is still the way it is 3 weeks later, please do so. Anybody that can get a hold of Gorman and ask the questions as to why were the cameras never working in the first place? Why is that okay? Why is it okay to put people through this for another week? It's not. None of it is okay. None of it is okay. And I'm going to stand my ground. So when I say never back down, I mean it. We have a fundraiser coming up to go over all these things and how to make the community safer. Well, you could start with Gorman. You can start with flooring. You can start with cameras. I want to talk to somebody that can actually give me an answer as to why this is okay. Allegedly okay. It's never going to be okay. And it shouldn't be like this even now. It shouldn't. But it is. And that's just not right. Children and people, residents are emotionally, mentally a wreck. And now you see why. So I'm going to invite you all. Anybody that wants to come and show up and wants to know the same questions that I have, why? We have a community gathering coming up on the 15th. There is a RSVP scan code. I'm going to show it to you now. And anybody that stands for what I believe in, which is equality and protecting our community, protecting the elderly citizens around our community, protecting them, protecting our children, protecting the special needs facility right here. Please show up, because I would love to have some support on this, and this needs to be addressed by somebody that has more power than I do. And I don't have a lot of power, but I have tried, I have made calls, I have reached out, and here we are. I haven't gotten anywhere. Still get the runaround. I'm not happy about it. Nobody is. So here is the event. There it is. It's going to be our second community gathering since this happened. And yet they want to talk about what it means to have a safe community. Well, it means to have cameras working. Okay? That part. It means that people need to stand up for what they believe in and not be scared to have a voice. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to you guys. Make your own decisions. Stand up for what you believe in. Have a voice. Above all, never back down. Please join me in this, because it is awful. And I am livid And I really would love some support because I want to know answers. And now that you guys all see this for yourself, I hope there's at least one news anchor out there that will be like, you know what? I'm with her. I want to know too. One person that's like, I want to know as well. So please, I encourage you to come. That being said, you guys have a lovely day. Above all, never back down.